Now just imagine what these guys go home and do right after they do the bad stuff. They just go home and have their meals with their kids every night. Like Ted Bundy. I mean, I was like, man, he just ate normal dinner with us every night. We didn't know.
You don't think you can drive that speed you want around here?
You got us scared to death, man.
Don't you call me manager, boy.
No, sir. What should I call you?
Don't call me nothing but manager, boy. You just listen.
Yes, sir. Well, you're starting to smell like a nigger too much.
Take it easy with me, right?
Sure, you will, nigger lover.
You see your face. If I ain't good, you don't want him seeing your face.
Oh, you don't make no difference no more.
This woman had an affair with one of America's most notorious serial killers, and she had no idea.
There was always something that sat uneasy with me about him, and I just really couldn't put my finger on it.
Holly Udy is still coming to terms with the terrifying trail of death left by the man she was in love with for 10 years, Todd Kohlhepp. You may remember Kohlhepp. He's the real estate broker from Spartanburg, South Carolina, whose sick crime spree stunned the nation.
A vulnerable grandmother brutally attacked in her own home.
She's been murdered.
A 6-year-old eyewitness identifies the killer.
He was the person that did this.
The man is convicted and sentenced to life in prison.
It was just an offensive crime committed against two very vulnerable people.
But one woman is convinced he's innocent.
He did not do this.
She's not a lawyer. She's not a cop. She's the daughter of a murdered woman. The wife of the accused.
How can that be?
What the heck is going on here?
Intel earnings out as well. Christina Parks-Nevelis has the numbers. Christina.
So we are seeing a top and bottom line beat. The company posting a loss of only 4 cents. The street was anticipating 15 cents for adjusted EPS on revenues of $11.7 billion, which is a beat, but that's still down 36% year over year. But what you may see, you see the stock up 2.6%, but Q2 EPS guidance, that comes in a little light. They're expecting a loss of 4 cents a share. The street was anticipating a penny, so that would be positive versus the negative that we're seeing on Q2 revenue, which pretty much falls in line. One number that I was looking at was data centers, because we are seeing...
That's what I used to work in, data centers.
Some strength there. Data centers came in at $3.7 billion, which was a little bit higher than what the street anticipated, so it's a good thing. Still down about 39% year over year. The company saying, though, the CEO in this press release, that we remain cautious on the macroeconomic outlook and that they're going to be prioritizing their foundry business, which they call IDM 2.0. And the CFO also pointing out, too, that they are prioritizing investments needed to advance their strategy in the internal foundry model, which we know.
Bribery and corruption is serious business. From the grand corruption of high-level officials to the everyday dishonest favors in business. Corruption and bribery can be devastating to your organization and should not be tolerated. Bribery can take many forms, including grand corruption, facilitation of payments, business gifts, donations,
murder,
hospitality, in-kind help and support, perks to relatives, and more. Your organization's code of conduct and anti-corruption policy...
Till made sure everybody took code of conduct. That's how I got him to help.
This means that you comply with all anti-corruption laws, local, federal, and international, and laws.
So everybody read this stuff. Everybody read this stuff. Everybody knew what they were doing.
Ethics Solutions presentation. Be sure to follow us online. There has been a new allegation.
I guess if I was president of the United States and somebody said robbery was, they'd start investigating. But Intel Corporation, no, because there's so much money. So much money.
So the White House has gone ahead and denounced this as innuendo. But the subpoena itself is kind of interesting. They are saying that Christopher Wray, the FBI director, is asking to be provided for records that relate to President Biden and his family. on an unnamed whistleblower made to Congress.
So it doesn't really matter about all that. What I'm going to say is, you know, when a crime has been reported and a crime has been committed, when everybody knows Dale Earnhardt Sr. faked his death and Brett Finnerty's name was attached to it. Now, I can't help it that they used somebody else's face. It was me they did it to. Me. Everybody knows it. Because I would show up and people would be like, what's your name? I said, it's Brett Finnerty. What? Well, I'd hate to have that name. I was like, why? Why are people saying this? And then I can't remember who it was. I think it was Robert. Me and Brian and Robert and Jeff Sadler were playing music. Yeah, or we were just being introduced to Brian. And Brian goes, what's his name? Brett Finnerty. No, it can't be him. No. Show him your driver's license. Show him. And I was doing that a lot. Show him my driver's license. And people go, oh, no. Now, if everybody knows and nobody's standing up for law and order, what does that make everybody? A murderer. You're going to murder me in the streets. You're making me and my ex-wife homeless because people fake their deaths and nobody wants to stand up and tell the truth to what you did. Now, it's not my fault people committed crimes. It's not my fault you guys chose to do this based on lies. It's not my fault Tom Fuller, Charles Ray, came down to Lone Grove and became friends with Kent Fondren, and they were doing stuff like that. You know, you're not allowed to hypnotize a man and do stuff. You're not supposed to use the white power symbol and make that as a key, because it doesn't work anymore, guys. Because Freddie Campo, that's how Freddie Campo made me so mad. He used that and made me so mad because that let me know Freddie Campo from Lone Grove, Oklahoma knew it. That's what made me so mad, because you guys left me homeless 3 years ago right here in Ardmore when everybody had a chance to tell the truth. And then I go to Dallas and I'm working there, and all of a sudden Freddie Campo does this one thing where he goes to Dollar General. He goes, I just picked something up at Dollar General. And he has a paper bag. He pulls his hand out and he has like that. He goes, what y'all think about that? Right? That's not funny, Freddie. That's not funny, Lone Grove. That's not funny, Ardmore. You guys have let people try to murder me, and nobody wants to stand up and tell the truth. Anyway, I'm gonna play a song for you. Let's see. This is what I felt like when you guys did all this stuff to me in April and made us break up. This is how I felt. And it's still how I feel. When y'all let it all happen, it didn't stand anything. You didn't stand, nobody stood. Instead, Jeanette Ramsey laughed in my face. I hate you, Jeanette.